The New York Rangers are going to be very active this offseason, it seems like, and we have some interesting reports coming out here with a possible Jacob Trouba trade happening, and apparently he might have positive trade value, which to me seems a little insane here. And we also have a possible Ryan Lindgren extension coming as well. It seems more likely that he will be back with the team next year and beyond with an extension or re-signing obviously happening this summer. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at those two pieces of information in a report from Frank Seravalli, who is a very reputable, one of the more reputable and bigger kind of, just reporters insiders in the entire game. So starting off here, let's take a look at what he had to say in his latest article. I'll link that in the description as well. So starting off here, he says the Rangers are exploring all of their options this summer as Chris Drury remains as aggressive as ever, trying to get New York over the hump. One of those options is potentially moving his captain. Trouba also just happens to be dropping down from a full no movement clause to a 15-team no trade list starting on Monday. So basically, it seems like we're not going to see a Jacob Trouba trade. If it is going to happen, it's not going to happen during the draft because of his, full no movement clause still being kicked in currently, but then it goes down to a 15-team no trade list starting on Monday, July 1st. So that's when things could really get going here with the Rangers possibly seeing a big move happen here with the captain, Jacob Trouba here, who has, a massive $8 million cap hit. I think if we can get off that deal for somewhat positive value, it seems like maybe this wouldn't be a bad idea at all, especially when you take a look here at the rest of the article. As he says, Trouba has positive trade equity despite the cap hit because the term is so short with 2 years remaining. Teams crave his intensity, leadership, and physicality. We know we can bring that for sure, but obviously the overall play is not the best. Are the Detroit Red Wings looking to upgrade their blue line a viable option for the Michigan native? And like I said in yesterday's video, there was a trade there where the Red Wings looked to dump off a guy like Jake Wallman there who had a $3.4 million cap hit. Now, are they looking to trade for Jacob Trouba there? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, this is very interesting here, as the Rangers could possibly trade away a guy like Jacob Trouba, who has an $8 million cap hit for the next 2 seasons, and possibly actually get an asset back or two. Maybe it's a prospect or a mid to late round pick or maybe one of each. I'm not quite sure, but either way, if we can get off the Jacob Trouba contract for anything at all, if it's a 7th round pick, I would be happy with that because there are a lot of great defensemen and forwards in free agency. So I think if we can get off Jacob Trouba's contract there, we could add in some really good talent in free agency to really upgrade this team. Because right now we have about $12.8 million in cap space. That's not counting, possibly needing to re-sign obviously Lindgren there, who's probably going to make around $4 million. We'll also have to re-sign a guy like Braden Schneider, who could make anywhere from 2.5, probably like 3 mil, something around there, maybe lower than that possibly as well. But just in general, he's going to be about a $2.5 million cap for Schneider there more than likely. And then for Lindgren, you're looking at about 4 mil. So that's about 6.5, 6 mil to 7, possibly at the very most, something around there for both those guys combined. That's going to leave us with about 5.8 to 6 mil possibly in free agency to spend. And if you get off that $8 million of Jacob Trouba, you're looking at a pretty nice cap space available there, $14 million to go up there and spend on whatever you want. Obviously, you go up there, you get a Jacob Trouba replacement, you'd be adding another left-handed defenseman, and you possibly go up there and get a top 6 caliber forward as well. That could really help this team out a ton and really kind of stack up this roster quite a bit. And you could still possibly have enough room as well to go out there and acquire a bottom 6 caliber center as well. So you get a bottom 6 caliber center, a top 6 caliber right winger. You also get a left-handed defenseman and a right-handed defenseman. And this team is looking very nice there. You've got 2 great goaltenders. You would have just added in some phenomenal depth there. You still got your prospects in Brett Berard, Adam Edstrom, Matt Rempe, Brendan Othman. A lot of great young forwards coming up as well to provide some great depth and help out on that 4th and 3rd line there. So I think that would be great. You could still have Zach Jones as your 17th man as well, possibly, which wouldn't be the greatest thing for him himself, but I think for the Rangers would still be very nice. I mean, I'd hate to see that kind of happen to a guy like Zach there, but if we could add in a left-handed defenseman, a right-handed defenseman as well, that decor would be looking very nice there, and I think it overall just really help this team out a ton. You add in some, physicality, some size, some overall grit and toughness on the back end there, while also being some solid puck movers possibly, and being, just really reliable defensively. This team could be looking very nice for the 2024-2025 season. But it all depends on whether or not we can get off Jacob Trouba's contract without having to retain any money and possibly even getting an asset back, which I think would be absolutely fantastic to see. And before we carry on here, if you could, and if you've enjoyed the video so far, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for more daily New York Rangers content. It helps the channel a ton, and I would really, really appreciate it. But carrying on here, taking a look at the rest of the article here from Frank Seravalli of Daily Faceoff, talking about Ryan Lindgren now. He says, in addition to upgrades up front, the Rangers are also grinding on an extension for Ryan Lindgren. And his initial ask seemed to be pretty reasonable, which is good to see. Because obviously sometimes RFAs, they want, some crazy amount of money. But if he's asking for a reasonable deal there, it seems like he will more than likely be back with the Rangers next season, which I'm okay with. I know some Rangers fans don't want to see him back because he's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's all right size. So 5'11", 6 foot. He plays a very tough physical game, a very gritty kind of guy, and definitely is not afraid of much out there on the ice. He's a very good team player. He's always looking to block shots, sacrifice his body for the team, and I think is a good team player to have, especially in playoff time. He isn't some liability out there for sure. He's a solid defensive defenseman, not an elite one, but a good defensive defenseman there, a reliable defensive guy, all right puck mover, has the odd kind of great offensive moment here or there. He's not a good offensive defenseman necessarily, but the odd moment here or there. You take a look at the Game 6 there against Carolina where he had a clutch play to get the puck to Kreider. He just has the odd kind of great offensive moment here or there where he comes in kind of clutch, and we kind of seen that in the past. So I think he's a solid player to have here, and maybe we do see him kind of get moved down a bit possibly and see a guy like Nikita Zadorov, if he got signed there, go on that top pair alongside Adam Fox. Maybe we see them split up. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, I do think Ryan Lindgren would be a very nice kind of just re-sign there to bring him back and allow him to play on this team once again going forward because he is a very talented player. And like I said earlier, I do think Ryan Lindgren's next contract is going to be something around a $4 million cap hit. And maybe if he's asking for a reasonable deal, it's something around there. Maybe he's asking for probably more obviously than that right now, which is, what you do going into negotiations. You're not going to start off at what you kind of want. You're going to go maybe a little ahead. No agent here, but, kind of basic stuff there. So maybe he's asking for right now, like 4.5, 4.7 or something like that. Rangers can get him down to around $4 million mark. I think that would be a good and fair contract for both sides on something around a 3 to 5 year deal possibly could be a solid contract for Ryan Lindgren going forward as, he's not too old right now. He's 26 years old, so it's not like he's, some 28, 29-year-old guy. He's still only 26 there. He's not too old, still relatively young, so I think this would be a pretty fair contract for both sides and could work out for this team very, very well. Anyways, though, kind of recapping the video here, it seems like Frank Seravalli is saying the Rangers are more than likely going to re-sign Ryan Lindgren here this offseason, which I think is probably going to happen, it seems like, at this point. And also, we might be able to actually get an asset or two back in return for Jacob Trouba, which I think would be absolutely fantastic. There are some great defensemen out there in free agency to kind of replace either, that, Eric Gustafsson spot there in the third D pair spot, or possibly, Jacob Trouba as well. Zadorov, Tanev, and Brady Shea, just to name a couple there. There are some great names out there, and I think this team could really benefit from getting off the $8 million contract, especially if they don't have to retain any money on Jacob Trouba. Anyways, if you have enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe for daily New York Rangers content. It helps out the channel a ton, and I would really appreciate the support. Videos have been doing good, and it's all thanks to you out there, so I really appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe to help out the channel a ton. And also, don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on possibly getting some actual value back for Jacob Trouba, not having to buy him out or possibly, attach a pick or two or a prospect to get rid of Jacob Trouba. Maybe we're getting a pick or two back or a prospect for Jacob Trouba, which I think would be fantastic value for this team, and also the possibility of re-signing and bringing back Ryan Lindgren this offseason. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.